am. There you go. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
Oh,
Don't
I'm
answer
doing
that. It's a
great.
horrible day. It's a horrible day. It's been a
Oh,
horrible week. It's not a United States. I'm believing less and less of its propaganda. Anyway,
yeah.
we're here to talk about some other things. Thank you so much for taking some time to join me. Could you
Thank you for
please?
thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. We could do this every week, but we've got other things to do. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone. My name's Eryn Wang. I just freshly graduated from Miss last month.
Congratulations on 4 semesters in Monterey, meeting some people and succeeding at a time when the world is going through the pandemic of COVID-19. Did that were there good things in your education from the COVID experience that brought, or was it all a bad thing, or did you find ways to make it good?
I think I am the latter one. So I did find things to make it an enjoyable experience for me because since all that classes went remote, I was able to make time to do exercise and to take advantage of the location where I was at. So it was very fortunate for me to, to just try to balance study and life a little bit.
Since then, you've had the opportunity to intern with the United Nations at UNICEF. Why was that a goal for you? Why did you pursue that? And how did you even discover that opportunity?
Oh, so I got an email from Carolyn last year. I think it was November, if I remember correctly, and I jumped right onto it because I was waiting. I felt like I was waiting for that opportunity for a long time. And so I arranged a meeting with Carolyn and we talked about, and I said, hey, I'm going to do this. And is there any advice that you could offer me? And she said, you have all the qualifications you need to take a to take a chance, and I did. But I was at the same time I was doing a lot of other projects as well. It was a busy semester, and then it turns out I was selected as the first candidate of that internship, and I was very lucky. Yeah. So UNICEF opportunity, I guess from the bottom of my heart, I always want to do something like that in my life. And I was so glad that I was able to make it.
The children are the future. I mean, it's not just a lyric from a song. It really is the next generation of people who will grow up in the world that we help create for them. Um, do you look around at the things that are happening in the world, and is this a way that you can help make the world better for people who are coming in generations that will follow us?
Thank you. Thank you for throwing out that keyword. I think the keyword here is the next generation. So the evaluation office that I was working for, they were actually trying everything they can to create the next generation platform for children, and especially to create a platform that within the rubrics of what works for children, especially the next generation, because according to UN data, uh, almost 1/4 of the world's population is going to be young people. So we have a lot to, to think about in terms of how to create a platform that's transparent and that's welcomed by the next generation. It's not just the platform, but also, like what kind of technology format they would embrace or accept in that respect.
I'm going to ask this because it made me think that at the moment I've been reading so much about the digital divide between first world, second world, and developing countries all around the globe. Were there talks about that in some of the work that you were doing? And if you're developing platforms and technology, how will young people have access to some of these tools and ways of connecting and communicating?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually, because I think the digital divide is not like a momentary thing that we can fix that. So it's going to take generations and generations, especially when the COVID pandemic broke out and everything went online. So actually, kids in developing countries, they are the ones who are being affected the most. And I think from the UN agency's perspective, they were trying to advocate and trying to advance all these policies and meet it with their country offices to address um, some of the issues, but I think it's going to be hard because every country is different, right? From policy angle, from implementation angle, it's going to be different, but fundamentally, it has a lot with the infrastructure and policy.
You mentioned just a few minutes ago that you applied for this internship was leading you to your dreams, what you wanted to do, and then you had all of the qualifications. Did some of those qualifications come from your course studies at the Middlebury Institute?
So I think firstly, you need to have the ability to communicate clearly and not just verbally, but in written format as well. So communication, oral communication, written communication. So that's language aspect. Next, secondly, you need to have the ability to connect different things in a fast-paced environment sometimes. So not just the ability to learn, but the ability to connect things, how to connect different dots in and find perfect, not perfect, but strict alignment between all these different aspects. And then thirdly, or lastly, I think is the ability to diagnose or understanding the problem using some of the tools you learn in school. For example, I use a lot of the tools I learned from my classes, different classes, like SWOT analysis from Maha's class, and then just basically different sophisticated rules and then tools that you can use, because I think Miss has trained us with a set of tools, and you sort of graduate with a little bit toolbox that you can draw different tools from that box. And I did use that, and I think I used to sort of amplify my ability a little bit because of all those tools.
What's it like to be facing an obstacle, to be problem solving, and then to have that, oh, that is from this class or what I learned over there? What's that connection feel like in your mind?
Well, I mean, during my study at Miss, I was trying to connect different dots between different classes. So it was more like a habit for me to connect different things from different angles. So when I was working for UNICEF, and I was, I guess in a sense, I was brave enough to try to experiment different thinking. And then I think my supervisors, they welcome it because it's like a new thing for them. And yeah, I feel very lucky, you know, for giving the opportunity to experiment different things on my job.
Going to the Institute is an investment of both time and money. Was that investment worth it?
Definitely. For me, it's almost like 110. Maybe for some people it's 100 or 90%. For me, it's 100%. 110%. Why is that? Because I think the language environment it's very it's just awesome, excellent. This is the best language learning environment you can find in the world. And then second one is the open-minded and I would say interactive learning environment. You have a lot of chances to interact with your peers and your professors and the staff, and like everyone on campus basically. And then lastly, I would say the geographic location. Monterey is just a first-rate paradise, if you want to call it. The weather, the location, right? And you can do a lot of hiking, a lot of things you can do outside class. So yeah, so I feel like all those, if you want to package them, it's going to be like A+ package for me.
Um, doing an internship like this, taking advantage of an opportunity with UNICEF this time in your career, as you're
Mm.
developing where you're going to go exploring the various paths that are ahead of you, it looks really good on your CV, but it also can help you make the world a better place. How did you balance that with the choice? Like, yeah, it looks good on print, but it's a really mission that my passion leads me towards.
Yeah, for me, I feel like CV is one thing, but then whether you really get something out of the experience is more important for me. So for me, I definitely learn a lot from this experience. Like I said, I was working with a very caring and very professional supervisor, and she taught me a lot. And basically, it's like you have learned and you have developed a higher perspective of looking at the world differently. So, for example, because I was contributing to a lot of concept notes writing and project planning and project conceptualization, um, I was able to I was able to understand the project and like the emerging problems that the function is experiencing from our office director's perspective, our executive director's perspective. I think those higher perspectives, they are very valuable to me in a way that it will help me look at all these problems. I mean, that I will encounter in my future jobs. Definitely they're going to help me, sharpen my thinking a little bit.
It sounds like you might have had an experience where a supervisor or a boss came to you and was like, here's a problem, but you could see it as they were seeing it already. And you might have seen an expression on the face of like, wow, this person is even more capable than I imagined when we brought them on board. Did you have that? Did you see someone recognize your talent? What was that like to feel?
I think they are very appreciative of what I was able to bring into the function because I left with the 8-minute deliverable, if you want to call it. So with the conceptualization idea that how we can bring the function into the next level. And yeah, so I feel like I was just being, like like I said, I was experimenting different tools in my toolbox and I was trying to piece them together. And yeah, so I guess UNICEF, they have this culture that they like interns. So whatever they do, like they are very welcome and you're welcome to talk about and, brainstorm a lot of ideas on your mind, especially within my section. So yeah, so it was a fun experience for me from that perspective as well.
The last thing I'll ask you, and again, thank you so much for taking some time to to connect again and talk about this stuff again. There's someone out there is right now at this moment considering the institute and several other places to go. If you could give them the main reason why they should choose the institute for their future, is there one thing that you can? Is it even possible to nail it down to just one thing that it would offer to them?
One thing, it is a little bit tricky, but I would say, like just take the opportunity. You'll learn a lot from everyone, almost everyone you meet on campus, because like I said, this is a very international community.
Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're going to do to make the world a better place. I can't wait to see your name attached to all these great projects and things in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to stop recording, but hang out for just